Hey guys, so this is my response video to An Anthropological Introduction to YouTube, and I feel like this could not have come at a better time. I must admit I am not one to spend a lot of time on YouTube. I pretty much prefer some other outlets for that. A lot of times a lot of the videos I see are on Facebook with YouTube links and such, so I don't spend a lot of time actually on the site. Just recently I actually started posting videos, although I've had my YouTube account since like 2007. I've only recently actually put stuff up. I found this video incredibly interesting and kind of what I needed right now, as weird as that sounds. But you know, this past weekend I've just kind of, I've been, you know, dealing with some stuff, and it's crazy the timing, being that I just watched a video from 2008 that's extremely relevant in 2015. But I guess that's the beauty of YouTube and the beauty of the internet. Things just kind of stay around and they don't go anywhere. So sometimes when you need to rewatch something quite a bit later, it comes in handy. I don't even know where to start. The fact that a video that visually is unappealing to the eye, considering the year that we're in and the technological advances that we've made when it comes to video recording, it was able to keep me interested. I was really into the kinds of things that were being discussed when it was talking about the YouTube community. And I mean, the YouTube community back then is pretty different from the YouTube community we have now. I mean, back then it was all about vlogs and, you know, fight videos and stuff like that. And now we see on YouTube is like the way technology has advanced with even makeup tutorials are shot with like these super HD cameras, and you know, other people are putting together, like Freddie W is putting together some crazy technology, you know, Devin Superchamp's shooting on his crazy equipment. Technology has come a really long way, and YouTube has changed over time. I mean, every place changed over time. The world we're in today has changed over time. But I was very intrigued by the video, and I was locked on, you know? And from discussing the beginning of YouTube to the community to the connecting with people around the world, I mean, I feel like for me, number one, it was interesting to see kind of an in-depth look at YouTube, because it's never really been something that has interested me. But I really, really, really connected with the part about, you know, communities and what it's like to connect with people around the world. You know, sometimes you can be very alone. I mean, physically there are people around you, but mentally maybe not. Maybe you need somebody. And sometimes the people you need aren't actually the ones that are around you. And maybe the people you need are people who understand you, but they're a continent away. Maybe a town away, maybe a state away, maybe a country away. But, you know, being the fact that the earth is huge, they're not always right where you need them to be. And the fact that YouTube allows you to connect with people on a different level, it's kind of amazing. And it really hit me. That was really cool, in my opinion, because I've never actually made that connection. I did enjoy the part about the what is real and what is fake on YouTube. I feel like that's something that, again, I'm not really big into YouTube, so it's not something that I realized was an issue. But I mean, I don't know, I guess it kind of comes back to how invested people are to certain videos. I mean, even me, when I watch videos and you know, whether it be personalities or makeup tutorials or this and that. I mean, you really want to believe that the people you're watching are being genuine. You know, I mean, when you watch a movie, you know that person is an actor. When you watch TV, you know that person is an actor. But I guess with YouTube, being that it's an outlet for just such raw emotion, for video logs, for just people to connect with each other, when you find out that maybe the person you connected with isn't actually who they say they are, I can see how that can be heartbreaking. I mean, in reality, if I made a friend someday and found out maybe a couple months later that person was not who I thought they were, I would be upset. And I can see that the complex relationships that we start to bond with other people on YouTube, I can see how that can be a letdown. But at the same time, I mean, I feel like, what else? Everybody uses YouTube for something. I mean, if you're a filmmaker, you're going to use YouTube to upload your work. If you're a singer, you're going to use YouTube to sing your songs. If you're an actor, you're going to use YouTube to play a character. And I guess I can almost understand wanting to be someone different. Hell, I'm wearing fake eyelashes and lipstick and kimono top. You think this is me? Hell no. I lounge around the house in sweats and my hair's thrown up in a bun and I ain't got no makeup on. I woke up like this. But the thought of people around the world seeing me like that is not appealing. It doesn't mean that I'm playing a complex character. No, you're still getting me. I'm still speaking as me. But I don't want to put you through the horrors of seeing the real me with no makeup on and sweats and crazy woman hair. So I'm gonna polish up a little bit. But the thought of being able to play a different character, to just be raw and emotional for a couple of minutes, it's pretty appealing. I mean, I would love to put a mask on and just, I don't know, pour my heart out. But the thought of millions of people seeing it, not that they actually would, but say for some odd reason millions of people saw it, that terrifies me. I don't even like being raw to the people I'm closest to. I mean, if millions of strangers around the world actually saw me that way, I don't quite know why, but it's terrifying. Anyway, a little tangent there. Back to the point. It was a fantastic video. Like I said, I enjoyed the many different aspects of it. The way that we looked at the differences from YouTube's launch to even how you track it, threads, you know, linking things, all the way down to identities on YouTube, making connections with people, the community. It was an absolutely fascinating video. I almost feel like it should be the introduction to YouTube before you even sign up. There should be a little option that's like, oh, thank you for signing up for YouTube, watch this video, you know, and I feel like everybody would gain something from seeing this video. I definitely learned a lot. Like I said, YouTube is not my chosen social media network. I do dabble on it every once in a while, but I am really glad that I was able to watch that video because it taught me a lot. I definitely learned a lot. I was not expecting to learn that much from that video. I'm not gonna lie, the horrible graphics in the beginning. I know it was a different time. I understand that. But, you know, your eye gets used to newer technologies, and seeing that stuff in the beginning, I was like, oh Lord Jesus. Oh, what am I getting myself into? But it was actually very, very entertaining, and I quite enjoyed it. I feel like I'm a little more aware now of the communities on YouTube. Like I said, I know that video was from a few years back, so it's not exactly up to date with exactly how YouTube is now. But I feel like I understand the culture a little better of YouTube. I feel like we don't think about that, but I mean, in reality, social media is its own, it's a culture in itself, you know. There are do's and don'ts, there are yes and no's. I mean, I can't tell you. Instagram has its own culture, you know. Snapchat has its own culture. Facebook has its own culture. YouTube has its own culture. and you don't think about that kind of stuff. But if I have a friend who posts something weird on Instagram, you know, or like doesn't format a picture the right way, I will ridicule them mercilessly about it. Same thing for Snapchat. Like, when my friends don't understand the way Snapchat works, I just tease the hell out of them. You know, I mean, everything has its own culture. Everything has its own social norms, your do's and don'ts. Paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs of text are not for Instagram. Instagram is for photos. And when I see people who post these little screenshots of their notepads and post it on Instagram, I'm like, really? Is that the best way to use that? Okay. But it's just the way it is. I mean, each social media network has its own culture. And I will admit that YouTube was probably the one that I was least familiar with, and after watching this video I am a lot more familiar with it, and I quite enjoyed it. I learned a lot, and like I said, I definitely needed that, and I feel better after watching it. So I highly, highly recommend, if you would like a little more understanding of YouTube, or really even if you don't, I think you should watch it, because I think a lot of people can learn from it, and I think everybody who uses YouTube or even knows about YouTube should take a look, because it's really interesting, and I think it'll teach you a thing or two. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. And if you by any chance did watch the video, I would love to hear your thoughts on it. Please post below in the comments. I'm really, really interested to see what everybody took away from it. And yeah, I will see you guys later.